It is story time, and the title of our story is Uche and his selfish brother. Uche was a very hardworking man. He had 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter. He was a man that worked relentlessly to make sure he acquired enough to take very good care of his wife Ezinne and their 3 children, Nonso, Amaka and Ada. Uche had an elder brother who was an exact opposite of him in character. While he was industrious, his elder brother Amechi was a very lazy man. Amechi had always been like that since their childhood. During their school days, Uche read very hard and had good grades, while his elder brother Amechi was never serious with his academic works. After secondary school, Uche was able to get a job in a plastic factory. He worked so hard in the factory during the week, and at weekends, he worked on his farm. On the other hand, Amechi dropped out of school because he felt he couldn't cope with schoolwork. He refused to learn a trade. He preferred to be lazy, take alcoholic drinks, smoke cigarettes, and keep bad company. He never bothered to marry because of his waywardness and joblessness. Whenever he needed money, he went to his younger brother and made huge demands. Severally, Uche had given him money and advised him to invest the money wisely, but Amechi would lavish the money and run back to Uche for more. While Amechi kept being lazy, Uche kept working hard and expanding his farming business. On several occasions, Uche tried to make his elder brother learn a trade, but to no avail. He had also given him huge sums of money to start a business or trade, but all his efforts had been fruitless because, as usual, Amechi would lavish the money. At a point, Uche became fed up with his brother's lifestyle and he refused to give him money anymore. One morning, as Uche was preparing for the day's work, Amechi ran into his house. "Good morning, you are welcome," Uche said as Amechi ran in. "Good morning, Uche. I am sorry I came this early to bother you," Amechi said. "No problem. My house is also your house, so you are welcome anytime," Uche said to him. "Thank you, my brother, but it is an urgent issue that has brought me this early," Amechi said. "Hope there is no problem," Uche said with concern. "No problem. It is just that I need some money for some important business. There is this business a friend introduced me to, and I need some money to invest in it," Amechi said. "What is this business and how much do you need?" Uche asked him. "Don't bother yourself about the business. Just give me the money. It is just a little sum of about 30,000 naira. The business is very lucrative, and in a short while, I'll make huge profit from it," Amechi said. "I don't have such an amount of money. Moreover, you haven't told me the type of business you want to invest in," Uche said. "Listen, let me tell you, you are not more business oriented than I am, so I must not take permission from you before I go into any business. Just give me the money I asked for. That is all," Amechi said with an angry tone. "I am not saying you need to take permission from me before you go into any business. All I am saying is that as your brother, I should at least know what business my brother is going into. Remember, this is not the first time you are taking a huge sum of money from me in the name of a new business. Yet you don't invest the money in any business," Uche said. "Oh, because you have given me money 1 or 2 times, I must report my daily activities to you," Amechi said angrily. "That is not what I mean," Uche said. "I am not interested in what you are saying. Are you giving me the money or not?" Amechi asked him angrily. "Like I said, I don't have such amount of money now. Give me some days to rally round and see if I can raise it. But you have to tell me what this business is all about and give me proof that it is lucrative, because I am sincerely tired of seeing you waste money," Uche said. "You are insulting me because I came to ask you for money. You now feel as if you are superior to me. Don't worry, keep your money, but I will show you that I came into this world before you," Amechi said. And with that, he angrily stormed out of Uche's house. Uche tried to call him back, but he refused to listen to Uche. He walked back to his house and began to devise means of dealing with his brother. One day, as Uche was coming back from the farm, Amechi stopped him on the way and pleaded with him, saying he was sorry the way he left Amechi's house. He pretended to be sorry over their last argument and told Uche he had turned a new leaf. Uche suspected nothing. In fact, he was very happy that his brother had come back to his senses, but he was oblivious of his brother's plans. He even invited Amechi over for dinner that night. Amechi went to his house. They ate and joked together. Uche was happy he had reconciled with his brother without knowing his brother's plan. 2 days later, Uche was on his farm weeding. He was so engrossed with what he was doing that he didn't see Amechi walk up to him. Amechi got some poisonous leaves from a bush, put them in his pocket, holding an axe, and stood behind Uche. "Well done, Uche," he said. His voice startled Uche, who looked up and smiled. "Ah, my brother, what are you doing with an axe?" Uche asked, because he wasn't expecting to see Amechi there. "There's a big tree I cut down in the bush. I want to split it into bits with this axe," Amechi said. And Uche smiled. "Okay, that's very good. Please be fast before it gets dark," Uche said. "I will. I promise not to be long," Amechi said, pretending to leave. Uche bent down and continued weeding. Amechi hit him twice with the handle of the axe, and he fell down with his face. Amechi held him up with his right hand and used his left hand to squeeze some of the poisonous juice into Uche's mouth and dropped Uche on the ground. "Let me see how you can insult me again, because I came to beg you for money, Mr. Millionaire. Now everything you own will be mine while you stay here and rot," Amechi said, and quickly ran away. At home, Uche's wife sat outside waiting for him to return from the farm. She waited till late in the night, but her husband didn't return. She became scared and raised alarm. She went to Amechi and asked him if he saw Uche, but Amechi denied seeing Uche. She also went to Uche's friend Wakwe, who said he didn't see Uche that evening. She stayed awake all night and cried because she knew it was quite unlike her husband to keep late nights. All through the night, whenever she heard any sound outside, she would quickly run out, thinking it was her husband, but it wasn't him. Early the next morning, she ran to the king of their village, who sent men to different parts of their village and even their neighboring villages in search of Uche. He also instructed them to search Uche's farm and other farms around. A thorough search was carried out, but Uche was not found. Uche's wife and children cried day and night, hoping that he would return to them. Amechi now had the opportunity he always wanted. He went to Uche's farms, harvested the crops, and sold them without giving any money to his wife and children. When Uche's wife complained to the king, Amechi told the king he helped Uche borrow some money from a friend in the next village, and that Uche promised to pay back once the proceeds from his farms were sold. Since Uche wasn't found, he had to sell the proceeds and return the money. With this explanation, the king couldn't act otherwise. He gave some foodstuffs to Uche's wife and asked her to go home, promising her that from time to time, his palace would send her and her children food, till the mystery behind her husband's departure was unveiled. Amechi wickedly sold all Uche labored for and seized all Uche's landed properties. As time went by, the search for Uche continued. Then came the period of the village dance festival. 2 days to the festival, Amechi went to Uche's house and took 4 goats and 6 chickens. When Uche's wife inquired why he took the animals, Amechi told her it was not her business and that she could go and report to the king, and he would always defend himself before the king. Uche's wife cried bitterly, but there was nothing she could do. On the day of the dance festival, everyone gathered at the marketplace, including Uche's wife, who came because no one in the village was allowed to be absent from the festival, so long as the person didn't travel out of the village at that time. As the people came, they all got prepared for the festival, and soon the festival commenced. The people, including the king, formed a circle around the dancers, and the dancers began to entertain them, showing off their dance styles. As the festival was going on and everyone was happy, Uche walked into the dance circle. This brought the dance to a stop. As everyone was shocked to see him, there was surprise on everyone's face. In fact, some people even had given up hope of seeing him. His unannounced appearance shocked everybody. Some hid behind others, thinking he was a ghost. The king, in his shock, asked him to explain to the people what happened to him and where he had been. Uche told the villagers how Amechi violently attacked him and abandoned him to die. He told the people that as Amechi was doing that, a palm wine tapper who was on a palm tree saw him. The palm wine tapper got down from the tree, carried him to his house, which was 2 villages away. There, he laid him on the ground, managed to open his mouth, and poured some antidote to the poison into his mouth, and he immediately vomited the poison. Uche told them that the palm tapper took care of him for weeks until he was okay, and he advised him not to go back to the village until they found out what Amechi's plans were. The palm tapper then monitored Amechi and discovered all his evil acts. He also came with Uche to testify to what Uche said. On hearing this, the villagers were very angry with Amechi. The king instructed Amechi to return everything he took from his brother, and he was tied hands and legs and thrown deep into the evil forest where animals feasted on him, very wild animals. Uche thanked the king and the villagers. His wife and children were very happy to see him again. The palm tapper who helped Uche was rewarded immensely. Let me ask you some questions. What has Uche done severally to help Amechi? During their school days, who had good grades? What important issue brought Amechi so early to his brother's house? Why did Amechi want his brother killed? My house is also your house. Who said this, and to whom was it said? How did Amechi treat Uche's wife when Uche was missing? What events were the villagers celebrating when Uche appeared? Who rescued Uche in the farm? What happened to Amechi after his brother's appearance? What did you learn from this story? What moral lessons do you think this story has? I think this story has a lot of moral lessons. One of them being that hard work, honesty, and kindness bring success and blessings, while laziness, greed, and selfishness lead to downfall and destruction. A large profit, something that brings large profit, something that turned out successful. I hope you enjoy this story.